Hi scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with my very first Victoria Marie Design Team challenge. So for this one I'm going to be working with Casey and I will have a link down below to her channel. But this is the layout that I kind of took inspiration from to get me started, and then I kind of just went my own direction. I'm going to be using this memorandum line and it's the paper that is called Labels. Now this is part of my click kit from December, and I'm actually not even going to use any of those embellishments. I was thinking, oh, those flags would be so cute, but I'm not going to end up using them. So here I am just kind of cutting up a couple of the papers from the kit. I had this yellow one that had circles on it, and I'm just going to place those one at the top and one at the bottom, and I did want to kind of ruffle the edges and make them not so perfect. And then I'm going to also cut this blue paper that has the addition signs, what are those called, plus signs on it, and I kind of cut those two patterns at an angle, that blue sheet of paper, and I just really liked the look that gave, that it wasn't perfect. Then I had this glassine bag, and I was thinking maybe I could do something fun and have that donut be there, and it could be like a little interactive piece. I also wanted to use these gold, they're not thickers, they're die cut letters, and they are from My Mind's Eye, and I think they are from the All Things collection if I'm not mistaken. But what I decided to do was use that as my big part of the title, and then I'm going to use the cutout, the little piece print and cut. It was a silhouette print and cut file. I'm going to use that as I thought that would be a really fun idea. So here I'm just trying to decide whether I want to use this glassine bag or not. I also pulled out this Dear Lizzie circle alphabet that I had in my stash, and here I'm going to use some wax paper and just try to figure out where and exactly what I want to do with my title. So this layout is kind of a different layout. So for the Victoria Marie challenge, what is going to happen is each week there's going to be a different challenge, and there's going to be at least one person doing the challenge. So today it's going to be me and Casey, and I will have a link to her channel below. But her and I decided to do kind of a donut theme. I found a pin on Pinterest that I thought was really cute, and I wanted to tell a different story that I haven't told yet, but it's been kind of a tradition in our family to have donuts every Saturday, and I don't remember exactly when the tradition started, but it was just something fun for us to do and to actually get our kids to eat, because our kids are famous for being really picky eaters, and donuts are one of the foods that they will eat without any problems. And so it was something that my husband started, I don't even remember when, like 2 or 3 years ago, and so I've always wanted to do a layout about it, but I haven't ever done it. And when I saw this pin, I just thought, oh, this would be a perfect time to tell this story, but I didn't have a picture. And so my idea was to use these silhouette print and cut donuts to be in place of the photo. So here I'm just kind of adding some molding paste to the layout just to kind of create some interest, and I'm not putting it all over, I'm just kind of putting it in a few different spots. And this is a Heidi Swapp stencil that I'm using. So here I'm doing that. So kind of back to my story. So yeah, it was just kind of a tradition that we started quite a few years ago, and I had never scrapbooked about. So I wanted to write it down and to say my thoughts on it and to kind of explain the tradition. I'm thinking that I'm going to start an album called Traditions so that we can kind of remember different things that we do, while our kids are young. So this is going to probably go in that album. So here I decide to cut this glassine bag on the fold because I decided I didn't want it to be folded over because that would be too interactive. I don't want people to have to pull the whole layout to be able to, read the journaling or to be able to use the interactive piece. So here, to cover up that piece where I stuck the top of the bag in so that you could still get a feel for the glassine bag, I decided to do a little layering on the bag. So here I'm just cutting up my 2 pieces of paper, and I'm going to decide to cut down the blue piece and cut it at a little bit of an angle just so that it kind of mimics the other pieces of the layout that had them layered together. So here I'm just gluing those on gluing the pattern papers together, and then I'm going to glue them onto the glassine bag. And then I'm also going to ruffle up the edges on these papers to also go along with the other pattern papers on the layout. And then here I'm going to glue one of those little donuts to that top piece. And then I'm going to, let's see, I don't even remember what I did. I did this last night and I don't even remember what I'm going to do. But so now I'm thinking about, well, how am I going to be doing my journaling? So here I'm pulling out some chipboard tags thinking, oh, maybe I could create a little tag, but I don't really like the smallness of the chipboard piece compared to the huge size of the pocket. So here I'm thinking, well, maybe I could just do something completely different and use these tags and kind of place them on the layout kind of scattered around, and I'll just do my journaling along those. But then I decide, no, I'm going to stick with my pocket and I'm going to do that. I pulled out these rubber tags from my stash, and this one says favorite, and I'm thinking I'm going to place it up there. But then I realized, well, if I do that, then I'm not going to have any way for people to know they can pull out this piece of paper. So I decided to use that big, huge die cut that I cut out with my silhouette, and I'm going to glue that onto that paper, and then I'm going to glue that favorite tag down there at the bottom. I did go away and I printed off my journaling because I had quite a bit to say. I wanted to make sure it would all fit on that tag. And so here I'm just cutting it off. And I was thinking I would kind of make it a little decorative edge, but then I realized that there probably wouldn't be enough room for all of the journaling and a little bit of a mat on that blue paper. So I decided not to make a decorative edge, and here I'm just going to cut down that blue paper a little bit, and then I'm going to glue the donut on. Then I'm going to glue the journaling on top of the donut a little bit, and then that is going to be the end of my journaling, my hidden journaling. So now I'm going to use my Zots to glue down that little rubber tag, and here I'm going to glue down the whole hidden journaling pocket. I'm also going to add these 2 little flare pieces that I made out of the print and cut donuts. So for this challenge, what Casey and I want to do is to have you guys kind of think outside the box. So you can use the mood board that I put at the beginning of the layout, and donuts was kind of the inspiration for this for my layout, but also we want you guys to scrapbook something that you've been meaning to scrapbook but haven't. And this is something that I've been meaning to scrapbook, but I just haven't. And then this challenge just kind of, forced me to think outside the box and to think, oh, there's this memory and this tradition that I want to scrapbook. And so this challenge just kind of made me go ahead and give myself permission to scrapbook this tradition that we've been doing for kind of a while. So Casey, I hope I'm saying your name right. I think it's Casey. But Casey and I are going to scrapbook just something that we've been meaning to scrapbook, and also use the mood board as part of our inspiration as well. And I will have a link down below to the pin that kind of gave me the idea for all of this whole challenge for this week. And I really hope that you guys enjoy this challenge. I'm so excited to be a part of the Victoria Marie Challenge design team, and I'm just really excited. Okay, so now I'm just putting down the D on donuts, and then I'm going to put the rest of the title down, which it is going to say "For the Love of Donuts." And then I already showed you my journaling, which is just going to be all about our tradition of having donuts on Saturdays. So here I'm just going to spend a little bit of time perfecting the title, and then I'm going to glue down these enamel flare pieces that I made. And what I did with that is I just got some of the those flare epoxy circles that you can buy on eBay, or you can even buy them at Hobby Lobby, and I just put it on top of the little donut picture that I had printed off. So now here I'm going to stamp my date, and since there's not an actual date, I'm just going to put January of 2016, which is the day, or the month that I'm actually making this layout. So here I'm just kind of stamping it in a bunch of different places and trying to create a little bit more texture and interest on the layout just around the title. And then I also do a little bit underneath the journaling spot. And now here I am going to add a little bit more kind of texture to the background by pulling out another stencil, and I'm going to use my canary yellow ink pad from Close to My Heart and my Tim Holtz little ink blender. I don't know what those things are called. The inking tool, I guess. So I'm just putting it in a couple of different spots on the layout. I'm going to use this yellow color, and then I'm also going to do a teal color as well. So it kind of brings in those two colors into the layout and kind of creates a little bit more interest on the layout. So here I am going to use my Heidi Swap Teal ink pad and with an ink dauber. And so I'm just going to put that again just all over the layout in a couple different spots. And this stencil I actually made on my Silhouette. It was a Silhouette Design Store cut file, and I used some of their Silhouette chipboard, and then I also put some matte medium on top of it so that it wouldn't fall apart as I use it, and that has seemed to help it stay together. Okay, so I think I'm all done with the stenciling, and then I thought that it looked a little too light and too white around the title, so I'm going to add just some smudges around the title, and then this is also where I decide to do some inking on the edges of the paper. And I really like how that turned out. At first, when I first did it and then I finished it, I was like, oh great, I ruined the layout. But in the end, I really do like that I added a little bit of ink on the papers and everything. And like I said, it just creates a little bit more texture and depth on the layout. So here I'm just doing it on the journaling card there and adding a few little streaks on the journaling piece itself. And I think that is just about it. I am all done with this layout. So I hope you will join us in this challenge. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you are not a part of the Victoria Marie Facebook group, please head on over to Facebook and look for her group. It is an awesome place. Here are some close-up photos of the layout. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this layout. Have a great day. Bye.